Welcome guys, in this video we're going to take a look at a relatively easy example of access modifiers. Okay, so these access modifiers are keywords like protected, public, private, and so on. Okay, so and they make a difference because obviously some code can be accessible easily, so other code cannot be accessible easily, and so on, depending on how you choose your keywords. So let's go here with using system. Okay, so create the template as I've done before. Make a namespace. Sample will do for our purposes. Now we're going to say class parent like this, and within class parent we're going to declare fields, and we're going to say public static integer x equals 5 like this, and then we're going to say here protected static integer y equals 12. Public means accessible anywhere. Static means you can write parent.x. You can access the field directly through the class name instead of an instance of the class. And then we're going to say private static integer z equals 10. So we have 3 fields. Now we're going to write some methods to access these. And you can do something similar with properties, of course. So we're going to say here the following: public static void and then print, and this will print. So now you're going to say console.writeLine, and then the value of z is, and then you're going to put a placeholder, comma, z, and then close out with a semicolon. Now, because z is declared private, and because this print method is inside the parent class, it can access z directly. You see that? Okay. Alright, so now let's step beyond the parent class to the child class. Okay, so class child, inherit from parent, and now here we are going to say, let me delete all of this, I don't need this. Let me move this code up. It's a good chunk of code, it's not an entirely trivial example. You're going to say public static and then void print. And now you're going to say console.writeLine, and then notice that y shows up in IntelliSense like that. Okay, and then close this with a semicolon. Well, child derives from parent, which means, see this protected keyword? That means that the members declared protected in the parent class are accessible in child class. Alright, so now let's make a class that is not connected to either one of the two above. So just class not connected. Okay. And then public static void print. There you go. Remember, public accessible anywhere. Static means it acts at the class level. Void doesn't return a value. The name is print. Alright, so now here we're going to say console.writeLine, and the only thing you can access is the value of x is, put a placeholder, and then comma, and then parent dot, and the only thing that shows up, of course, is x, you see? Because it's been declared public, we can reach x all the way in this class that is completely not connected to it, not derived from it. Nevertheless, it can access x through the class name, because x is public, and static means parent can access it directly, the class name. Alright, so now that we have all of that in place, we're going to call these print functions one by one, sequentially. So public, rather here, class program, and then static void main. And now you're going to say parent.print. That will access the print method of the parent class, and child.print like that, and then not connected.print, and then console.read key to wait for some key that will close the app. Alright, let me close this. And there you go. So that it looks like that. Get this a build. Go to debug and step into there. That'll be worthwhile seeing here. So at first, as you can see, we're about to just step into it. Right, we call parent.print. So as you can see, Z is accessed successfully because Z is private to the parent class. Then we call child print, and again Y is accessed successfully because it's child derives from parent. If you hover your mouse over it, you see this? It'll provide other information for you. See that? And then we'll tell you what the base is. And notice that ultimately for all of these classes, this is an important point. See, parent, right? If you expand this, the base is object. Okay? What else? Console, if you expand that, see that the base is object for the child, right? The base is our parent, but if you expand it far enough, it says the base is object for class not connected, the base is object for class program, the base is object, so the object class is really important. Okay? It's the base of everything. It sits at the root of the whole class hierarchy. Okay, both for user-defined types and for these predefined types, like for example console. Okay, console, as you can see, is a class, right? It's the same coloring as parent and child. All right, so now we're going through the body of print for the child class, and that works. The not connected.print, and that successfully accesses parent.x because x is public, and that works. And then we wait for some input. So strike some key here. It doesn't matter much. Right, it's unloaded from memory. There you go. So if you debug and start without debugging, you can do it that way too. That has its own feature. And this read key, remember, that works best when you just go directly with start. Okay? And you hit enter and it unloads, you see? There you go. So that works like this, and then that's it. So thank you very much. I will see you in another video, and the lesson will be, of course, to make your own hierarchy and try different, combinations of public, protected, and private, and make sure that you can reproduce the results and you really understand what the function is of these basic access modifier keywords. Thanks very much.